Altbays.
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 Dum 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 dum. And we're live. I don't
Sound
know.
like a mosquito.
I don't know why I did that. Sorry. We're live. Altbays Show brought to you by Altbays.nz. If you're watching us right now, you are on YouTube. And if you are on YouTube, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That really supports the team. There's an option there as well that you can become a member and put some dollars to support the team. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of efforts and energy that we're putting into this, so we do appreciate support from our audience. Thank you very much. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We break down the conversations into some short clips so you can enjoy some of the highlights, and then you go and choose the shows that you want to watch, and it's full length. It's a cool system. It works well. And obviously we are a podcast, so you will find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and all the main audio platforms. We have been doing this for over a year now. This is show 163.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right? Crazy. It's going fast. We had a bunch of cool people on board, and I get asked quite often because different demographics appreciate our show. When you go on YouTube, there's a tag right at the top, live. And that's where you will find all the shows that we've done, because we live stream them, so they don't go on the part videos, they go as live. So if you go on that live thingy at the top, that's where you find everything that we've done. Cool, that's how it goes. If you are watching us right now, you can see me holding the beautiful Coral Mind magazine.
Yes.
Yay, yeah, beautiful. Hey, we're doing this collaborative project. A lot of interesting people from the Coromando getting on board, and we're getting cool messages from new people that we were actually not expecting, which means a lot to us. So if you would like to be part of this project, make sure to email hello@coralmind.nz. Look at this. The paper is so cool. The beautiful artwork. And look who's here. Look who's here.
Ooh.
Ooh. BOD, massage, and skincare. How amazing, isn't it? Cool. March edition is almost ready. If you cannot see because you're listening to this podcast, you can go on coralmind.nz. That's COROMIND.nz. There's an audio version for accessibility and for the people who are doing their tasks and the chores. If they want to listen to the beautiful articles that we put out there, you can. And all the articles as well as a blog version. On my left tonight, I have the pleasure to have Abby Lawrence. Hi.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm thrilled to be back. Last time we were here, we were talking about rights for robots and the evolution of AI, and it was quite frankly terrifying. So pleased to talk about something this evening that's a little closer to my lane.
Did you find that changed anything that you had in your mind before about AI, or was just like eye-opening to see what's coming up?
No, it heightened the terror.
Fair enough.
Basically, I mean, like I said to his name. Sorry, what was his name? I can't.
The guest?
Yes.
Kimura.
Kimura, that's right. As I said to Kimura, you know, you see articles of interviews with Elon Musk, and they're like, global warming, you know, what's the biggest worry on the planet right now, Mr. Musk? And he's like, AI? You've got no idea. And, you know, this is really, if it's terrifying him, you know, I just find the evolution of it very, very quick and scary, and was hoping to have those fears allayed slightly. In fact, the complete opposite happened.
They freaked us out. Great show, right? Good to see what's happening, because we have no clue.
It was the depth of the rabbit hole, and the possibility that absolutely we're going to have to recognize AI robots as not people, but entities, and we can't just have them doing chores in our house, because we'd have to be not just a robot, they're a sentient being. And
I found it interesting, that thing that he said about, can you abuse a robot, and we made a clip out of that. And a lot of people were like, "What are you guys talking about?" And I'm like, "You got to get the context because he's actually focusing on human actions." So of course, like you don't want to abuse the robot, but it's a robot, but it's the act of abusing
There was
that
just,
you shouldn't be doing anyway, right? So that was a cool thing.
we'd be traveling down a road of conversation, and then he'd say something, and you and I would be like, whoa, hang on,
Go back.
we need to go down this road. And then we'd be going down this road, and he'd say something, and we'd be like, whoa, mind blown, hang on a minute, back. It was a lot to take in mentally.
There you
a
go. So
lot.
for our listeners, if you missed that one, Taylor will check the number for us because I forgot the show with Mauricio Kimura. But check it out. It's on our page. And that was cool. You did very well. And tonight, not bad, to have that meal before the show.
A truly happy camper. That meal was unbelievable.
So before I say thank you to Tanya from Lotta Love, I would like to introduce and bring to the conversation our lovely guest tonight, ALISA CLAPHAM. Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me. Thanks for having me. I'm just grateful to be here. So yeah.
Thanks for coming.
You won't have to worry about any robot talk tonight. I know nothing about robots.
Yeah, I don't either. I've got one Will Smith movie to go on. It was basically all I brought to the table. So, the whole skin thing, I'm far more, I feel a little more prepared for this conversation possibly because I have skin.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, ALISA. And I just forgot to mention, because a friend asked me, she was like, can you talk a little bit about the co-host and the guest as well before the show? And I'm like, 100%. So Abby Lawrence, for the ones who don't know, it's a real estate agent in Whitianga, in the Coromandel.
Correct.
Mother of two.
Mother of two.
Beautiful
Yes.
children. One is a drummer.
Yes.
Yeah.
One has a fabulous drum teacher.
Yeah, thank you. And a rapper.
Oh my God.
And ALISA, our lovely guest, is an internationally qualified beauty therapist.
Yeah.
And within the scope of her training, her heart has always belonged to skincare and massage. ALISA and her partner Henri have spent a few years raising kids and running their Base Pizzeria restaurants. ALISA is grateful to have her partner's support to step back fully into her career. That's a cool thing that I want to talk about for sure. As someone passionate about mental health, ALISA knows that stress shows up physically in our bodies in various ways. She believes we must look after ourselves. You cannot fill from an empty cup.
Yes.
True that.
I literally write that everywhere. You can't fill from an empty cup. Yeah. And I just hope that after this podcast, I've encouraged some people to look into their self-care and make sure people are taking that time to look after themselves, because you can't do anything unless you look after yourself first.
Did you have to go through a journey yourself to tap into looking after yourself, or it was something that came with you when you were little and like there was some influence in the family?
I've definitely been through a massive journey with that. I think growing up, like especially in Kiwi culture, we are like stay quiet, do as you're told. Not do as you're told, but you just try and keep everyone else happy. I don't know. That was kind of like how I felt growing up anyway. And it wasn't till I was a bit older and had kids that I was kind of like, I can do whatever I want, and I needed to grow a bit to have that mindset to actually follow that and have the courage to. Yeah. So, yeah.
Like to put yourself first. And to take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I was saying.
Yeah. Did you feel like the family and the people around you, they didn't have much of that thing of like, oh, like we got to take some time for the family to be us, or it was a cool upbringing? Like,
I feel like it maybe, I might be using the wrong words, but a little bit taboo. I came from a family with like, we didn't have a lot of money. So like even now you might see it's, people might see it as a luxury to look after yourself. And it is in some ways, like it's expensive to go get a massage and stuff. Or go get therapy, those kind of things. But there are ways that you can do that without money too. But it is kind of like, just get over it, go have a drink. Yeah, but...
I like it. I feel like we're gonna go deep very soon. Before we go deep, I just want to say thank you, as I mentioned before, to Tanya Arnold from Lot of Love Plant Based. She brought us this amazing meal. Look at Abby. Show it, Abby. Show it to the camera, Abby.
I should have stopped multiple pieces.
Look at that.
It's unbelievable. It's so delicious.
Say it on the mic, Abby.
It is so incredibly delicious, and it's unbelievably healthy too. And those two things are not normally in the same sentence. So thank you.
Abby was a bit scared about eating the caramel slice and talking on the phone because she doesn't want to do the ASMR.
I don't care. It's so yummy. I'm just going to keep eating and lean to the side.
I'm going to try my Italian. We had a beautiful arancini, which is rice, lentils, mushroom, garlic, onion, and Kasundi. Tanya can send to me if I say it wrong. Charles, she gave us a beautiful green salad, and there was a sausage rolls with walnuts and mushroom. And what we're having now for dessert is this beautiful seeded caramel slice and peanut butter slice. Man, what a treat.
It is so good.
So make sure to check them out, to check Tanya out, lotoflove.co.nz. She does amazing plant-based food, and she teaches as well. So you can put a group of friends together if you're going on this journey of eating healthy, or, plant-based food is not necessarily all healthy, like some people have this impression of like, oh, I'm going healthy. No, you can have your cheat days or whatever you call it, and I've been plant-based for 5 years now, and I would never look back. Well, never say never, but I feel pretty good, and it's so amazing to meet someone who can make beautiful stuff, because I'm not a great cook. But when I meet someone who is, I'm like, wow, this is amazing. So check her out. Alisa, we had a chat last week, and you were asking me about eating habits and all this stuff. Is it something that you can pick up, like with your years of experience, that like people maybe drink a little bit too much, or they are smokers? Like, does the skin really show?
That's actually something that I'm getting really interested in now. You do learn a little bit about that when you're studying, but I think I studied in 2014, I think I finished, and the science has actually moved along since then, so it's important to keep up, and there will always be differing opinions in anything, but I think that your body has a way of telling you things, and that when something pops up on your skin, it's telling you something. So, like, when you came in, I was kind of like, okay, what's this guy doing? Because your skin's looking good. And then you hear that? And I was trying to figure out, like, what's he eating, yeah.
No, it is. It's delicious.
Thanks, team.
And then there's kind of, I don't know, lots of people know this, but like hormones, hormonal acne there. We're learning more about things showing up in this area and even in the middle.
So for the ones listening to us, you pointing at your cheeks?
Yeah, cheeks. Yeah, mainly this bit. See, this is still like kind of new. This is what I'm learning. I'm actually going to go do some training in May to learn more into it. It's kind of like Chinese medicine skin mapping.
Right.
And over here, it's your digestive system. So, and then, the old alcoholics often have
red bumpy
nose. But that might not be alcohol. That might be something else going on in that area in your body. So it's just like indicators of maybe there's something happening in your body. Yeah.
I think that helps, because then you're not targeting only the surface of something. Of course you have to, because it's how you present yourself to the world, but there might be something internal that needs a good checkup, right?
And you never want to say that, like, I'm not a doctor. So I always say that to people, I'm not a doctor, but it's just interesting. It's something that I'm passionate about and enjoy doing. Yeah.
The products that you use, I remember you saying that they are specific, like they are, what's the term? Like you cannot just go and buy them?
Oh, so they are professional range products. So I use Osmosis MD, so that's Osmosis Medical. You'll only find that through a professional. There is Osmosis Beauty, which is still really good. Osmosis Medical is 20% stronger than the beauty range. It's quite active, and it's quite important to use the right one for your skin. So, like, you've got your different skin types, which we talked about earlier.
What are they? How do you classify them?
So we've got a normal skin, dry skin, oily skin, and then you can have a combination. Most adults I come across have a combination of normal oily, normal dry. But like, I don't really love the terms because it's normal to not have a normal skin type for an adult. A normal skin type.
So normal is abnormal.
Normal is abnormal unless you're like 5 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I always say
Good old
that to
times,
someone, if they come and see me, like, that's one thing I try to make people comfortable. These are just the terms I'm given.
Should give it like on a scale of 1 to 5. So it's not like, you're a 4.
Yeah.
Sweet.
But it's just terms that give me like a starting point of like, this is where we can work from now. This is what is going to be good for your skin, whereas opposed to something for an oily skin might not be good for a dry skin. Yeah.
So I understand that each case is a case, but like as a rule of thumb, if it's clear for you that you have oily skin, you know, like if it's one of those things you wake up and you already can tell, like, are there good steps, like basic things that you can do self-care at home? I'm sure you go very deep and you give like a proper treatment for someone, but like, are there basic things for people who identify, I have dry skin, look, it's cracking and I don't know what to do, especially men, because probably men don't even bother too much, but they can feel some sort of pain or discomfort?
So it's different for each individual person. One thing that I do see a lot is people think they have a dry skin, but they actually have dehydrated skin.
Yeah.
So that's when your skin is actually not got as much water as it should, as opposed to oil. So you could have an oily skin type but be dehydrated. Which is nice and confusing for everyone.
I just wish they made water more easy and more palatable to drink.
Yeah.
Isn't that beer? Isn't it?
Well, I mean, you can try and put those flavouring drops in, but it always tastes a little bit plasticky and it tastes awful. But yeah, I just struggle with my water intake so badly.
Yeah, so that's one thing that I was so bad at drinking water when I first started studying. And then they like force you to have your drink bottle on you. You're drinking your litre of water a day, like, all the girls in the class are
because
doing
I
that.
read the whole 8 glasses, there's not actually like it's not a staple of human requirement. It's just like a made up thing.
Yeah, I don't know how much the actual amount is. But what I do know is that the skin is the largest, the integumentary system is the largest organ in your body.
Yep.
And it's the last place that the nutrients and the water reaches. Yeah.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah.
So it does make sense that we have to keep up with
that,
right?
So I've been drinking lots of water. Drink some more. No, I don't know.
Absolutely, I know. It's something I've always,
Are you good with that, Abby? Do you have your water bottle in the office? Nope.
Nope.
You have your coffee?
Yes.
Oh, me too, Abby.
Multiple coffees.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So I drink when I'm thirsty. Like if I'm like, I need a glass of water. So instead of having 1 glass of water, I'll have 3 because I'm like, I haven't drunk very much water. I tend to want to drink my water in the evening for some reason, which doesn't correlate to a good night's sleep, of course.
Yeah.
So that's not much fun. But I notice that I drink water far easier and I can get a lot more volume in me in the evening. And I don't know if that's because I'm more relaxed and I can just, I'm not sure what it is. But yeah,
or maybe it's your body telling you that you should have drunk more during the day.
Well, apparently by the time you feel like you're thirsty, you're already dehydrated. I'm not sure if there's much validity in that.
I have heard that. I don't know what, I don't remember where I heard that, but I've heard the same thing.
But that's the thing, if you're hungry, your body tells you that you're hungry. Your body doesn't just wait till you're about to die of hunger before it tells you. So like, my body's pretty clever. It's going to give me a bit of warning.
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know, people are just trying to scare us into drinking enough water.
And that's the thing. I just resent walking in and buying a bottle. I'm old, I'll buy a bottle of Pump. A Powerade though. Love that.
Powerade. Do you drink Powerade?
Only when I play golf.
Oh, fancy Abby. I like it.
Only when I play golf.
We should contact them. That was a great slogan thing.
Mercury Road Golf Club. Absolutely happy to be a sponsor out there at the golf club, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
actually thought about Powerade, but if the Mercury Bay Golf
Oh
Club
no,
wants
look,
to
they're
sponsor
amazing.
you.
Yeah, I don't
Both.
drink enough to be on Powerade's radar.
What was the reason why you told me to drink a lot of water after the treatment?
After the treatment, I've increased circulation quite a bit. There's quite a lot going on in your body, so it's just drink plenty of water, keep hydrated. Your body is moving, trying to get rid of lactic acid as well in your muscles. It's just working a bit, so keep hydrated. And often I'll say to people, don't, if you're going to have a drink, I mean, ideally, if you don't drink, but I mean, I'm a realistic person. Some people are going to go have a drink.
But try not to do it
massage.
after a massage or a facial.
Yeah. But
that's when you're looking your finest, you go.
But I just warn people, like, it could actually hit you a bit harder.
Yeah.
So just be aware of that. Like,
Well, with inflation, if it's easier on the wallet, honey, we're all good with it.
Come see me for a massage for a cheap night out. No.
Exactly. Spend your money in your, absolutely.
So the I think most people understand how good getting a massage is, but like there's all these internal things. There's all these details that people miss. So it's not just the muscle and something that is tight. There's actually a whole flow of things going on that you're trying to increase the flow. Like is that too broad to say? Like
I kind of think I know what you're saying. So when you're getting a massage, you're increasing, you're working on your lymph. So I guess you're working on, I do relaxation massage. So I work on releasing muscle tension, but I'd also like to work on the mind. So if you come see me for a massage, that's a part of what I do. I'll make you feel really comfortable. You'll be in a robe with your feet in the hot water. And I use really flowing, slow movements. I try not to even let my hand leave the body.
That's really important, because when you're getting a massage and there's no connection, you've got no idea where they're floating in the room or where they are.
Yeah.
And it's really it's a vulnerable feeling when they take both hands off.
Yeah, and I understand that. And sometimes, I'll leave the room so you can get changed or whatever. Important little things like, hey, knock back on the door. Yes, you can come back in. It's just me. It's not, no one random's walked into the room. Yeah. But yeah, I really like that relaxation part of things. I do incorporate a bit of aromatherapy, just a little bit. And I'll have 3 essential oils there. I might change them to blends later. But I'll say close your eyes and choose one of these essential oils by smell, and that will be the one you're most drawn to today. And some of them might be, like, one of mine is this essential oil is really uplifting in a balancing way. That might be something that you're needing at the moment. And I use hot stones just to warm up the area, the muscle tension.
Does that make it easier for things to?
So it just, I think it's just something really nice, like, to do. It warms up the muscles at the start, but for me, it's also just those little things that just make the whole experience. Yeah. So you're warming the muscles at the start, but you're also just adding that touch. My favorite tools are my hands. So I've actually chosen to do one kind of massage where I'm just incorporating these things, but my favorite tools are my hands. I think they're the best tools for massaging. Yeah.
I like this. When we people take it as a treat, right? Oh, I'm gonna treat myself.
Yeah.
I'm gonna treat myself. But it goes way deeper than that, right? You're actually taking time.
Yeah.
To make your life better. And we wanted to talk about men looking after themselves. So I feel like it's a good point there, because what I feel like, especially older generations, older men, there's this thing with like this super pride on like working hard, you know, like why you're not working harder, you know, like that's why we're here for. And I'm like, I understand that a life without work or without meaning, there's no point. But like when that becomes the priority, it feels like you're missing out a lot and you're giving your body towards something that is not actually good for your soul, it's not good for yourself.
Well, it's not nourishing in any way, is it?
It's not, yeah. So I always make this connection of like, are those some of the reasons why men struggle to say that they should be like, they want to look after themselves? Because deep inside, I think we all like to have a look in the mirror and feel good about who we are.
Absolutely. And that there seems to be more of an acceptance now that, you know, taking a bit of care with doing things that make you feel better for you. And that's the change of the tangent now that I enjoy the most, is it's doing things for you.
Yeah.
That's not like wear this lipstick and see the men smile. Like no one gives a shit about that rhetoric anymore.
Yeah.
So it's doing things and it's allowing yourself to do something for yourself as well. You know, it's lovely. If birthday, Christmas, you get a massage voucher or a facial voucher. It's lovely.
Yeah.
But there has always been the misconception that that's a treat, and that because predominantly most people put their own care on the back burner, that's only something that you allow yourself, you know, like meeting your family, but only at a funeral.
Yeah.
You know, it's just something that you do on a special time. It's, you know, but it should be done so much more, because the feeling of walking out after having had a wonderful massage, it's just delightful.
I love watching people leave after a massage. That's like one of my favorite things. Yeah. See people relaxed. I think you could even look at it the other way, because I want manly men to have self-care, and that it actually helps if you are working really hard to stop for a second, and it kind of, if you take time, whether it be massage, a facial, meditation, journaling, stretch, like whatever you do, like if you take a moment for yourself, it can often like bring you back, and you can see like where your next step is. I find that for myself anyway, because it's really easy to just stay on the running wheel of work. You think you're doing so much, and then you'll finally like listen to your own advice, for me, and be like, okay, I need to stop and just see where I'm at, relax, have a massage, write in my journal, and it will often like really steer me in the right direction, and it will put me forward far more than I could have done working the extra 2 days on empty. Yeah.
I find it now that we're doing so much with the studio and with the magazine and still working full time, that in my mind I'm like, oh, I have to be there. I have to be in the studio. But then I'm understanding now that sometimes I spend 8 hours here. I would have done a better job if I had spent 4.
Yeah.
Because I was here for 8 hours, and maybe a couple of those hours I was not productive, and the sun was out, and I was thinking about the walk that I missed, you know, and then I'm kind of like, I think I just have to start working better with my time management to be productive. So what you said makes a lot of sense. Look after yourself, put yourself right on the top.
Yeah.
And then you make all the other items of the list like
especially
easier.
If you're a creative, like you need to go out and have your walk and be in the sun. Like you need to get that inspiration from the world. Like you can work, but you know, pull your inspiration from life and enjoy life too. Yeah.
Where I was going with that is that I don't have children though. So how is that for both of you with children, when you have the busy life, and for you especially, like the family is running 2 businesses, right? And you still have to keep everything.
Oh, I just don't. Like that's the secret. I just don't. Like
I love that. I love that so much. I'm going to drink to that.
Yeah, no, that's the reality. I've chosen that I want to be like a successful business person, and I hope to be that. To have, like I said before, like me and my family didn't come from much. My mum was with us 24, like she was always there. So what I'm doing, I haven't seen yet. Like I'm this is new.
Yeah.
But my washing is up to here. My kids eat.
Mount Washmore.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
hail Mount Washmore.
And we eat pizza. Henri cooks me pizza.
Yeah.
Like, especially at this stage, I've just started, like, I'll find my routines again. But I've gotten to the point where that's just what it is for now. This is what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to stress over that. Yeah. It's 2023.
Do you remember seeing that old kind of very old-fashioned circus kind of thing where there'd be a man on a long table and he'd have lots of like bamboo sticks and he'd put plates on them and he'd spin the plates? Have you seen that?
Yeah.
That's how life is now.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So we're all out there and we're spinning plates as
Just drop a plate
fast
for a
as we
second.
can. Just choose a couple of plates, honey.
Yeah,
Let
just
them drop.
Drop the plates.
Let the plates drop.
Yeah.
You know.
We'll glue them back
like,
together later.
Keep
It's
all
fine.
keep all the important plates spinning. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Housework, drop that shit.
Yeah. But like
Clean the interior of the car, drop that shit.
I've messaged a couple
Care
of
what
friends.
anyone thinks. Gone.
Drop it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have literally messaged a couple of friends and being like, hey, you know, I'm sorry I haven't been putting a lot of effort into our friendships lately, and like they've been understanding of that. They're like, no, like we understand that. I'm like, yeah,
But lovely to acknowledge that though.
Yeah.
Of you.
Yeah, because it does get a bit like that sometimes. And I think a strong thing you can do for yourself is choose your values. Like for me, I kind of had to step back from socializing a little bit because I did value my family first of all, and then business.
Yeah.
And like money. We want a house one day. I want things for my kids. I want them to have a good life. So that's really important to me that I do that, and I've consciously made a decision to, not in a mean way, like I love my friends, but that's,
Eyes on the prize.
Yeah, my
That's all
eyes
you're
are on the
doing.
prize.
It's eyes
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
prize, and you should be applauded for that.
Yeah,
You know, and
thank you.
no. Eyes on the prize. You're doing this for you and your family, and there's no more greater a thing to do that than good on you, man. Go hard.
But you have to get to that point as well. Like this, I am doing this for me and my family. Like I don't need to feel bad about.
Nope.
Yeah, and I just say that. I mean, I've got friends that I did my last year of school with here, and they know like the last few years for me, we've had the kids, and we started Base when my son Jack was 1. Like that was, and we started opening from 10 a.m. till 10 p.m. we first started, and we were just like full go.
Wow.
We've really cut that down, but like most of my friends know at this point like what I'm up to, and I love them, and but this is what I have to do. This is my life. Yeah.
What was that something that you didn't see coming when starting a hospitality business?
That was, so me and my beautiful fiance Henri, we were actually living in close to Waiwera in Auckland, and I was at home with Charlie for the first 3 years. I was stay-at-home mum. We had roast dinners every night, like I was, not like I am now at all. And Henri was traveling to work to do construction. He would leave at like dark, early in the morning, and get home at like dark at night when the kids are in bed. And the first lockdown, we were kind of, what are we doing?
Doesn't that seem like verging on a lifetime ago now? Like thinking about the first lockdown and the terror of it, because it was, oh my God, what was going on? But again, like we're so jaded now, like lockdown, schmockdown, like the first, like, but it feels like it
feels
and it
like
almost
so long ago.
It does, doesn't it?
It's been like 2 years, 3 years.
3 years, but it does. I mean, a lot in the world has changed, but it was such a different time.
Yeah. So I did a little bit of work here and there. I found at that time it wasn't worth working for anyone else, being a mother, because I was working, I was working at a spa in Auckland, 40 hours a week, taking home like $100 after daycare expenses and traveling to work.
Yep.
And it was like, what am I doing? So I stayed home with my daughter, and Henri worked.
It's just not right.
Yeah, it's so wrong. Yeah.
There's so many family, you struggle, and you'd rather be at work, and you'd rather be doing something,
Yeah.
and be, you know,
Yeah.
and it's that
And it just shouldn't be that hard.
it
Like,
just shouldn't.
I don't, yeah. And the pressure, like, now in that short 3 years, like, you've kind of opened my eyes to that. It's only been a short amount of time.
Exactly.
I've changed quite a lot as a person. Like, I cared what people thought about me when I had my first. And I was quite like, people were like, oh, aren't you going back to work, or what are you doing? Like, I let other people influence, you know, other people what they would say.
But again, we're coming back to the upbringing, and,
Yeah.
and not to the self care and being
Yeah.
brought up to you're a female, you've got to be a people pleaser.
Yeah.
That whole bent.
And that all kind of, it actually all happened in the first lockdown. I actually did a 5-day course with a life coach in the first lockdown, and that, like, that's where it all started. That's when,
I was just about to ask, that's a monumental shift. Where did that come from?
Did you find value in that?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. So my friend actually invited me. She goes, oh, I'm doing a 5-day free course with a life coach. And I was kind of like laughed at it, to be honest. I was like, what's that about, you know? But whatever, I'm bored with my kids. Like, let's
5
give it a go.
days. Can do 5 days.
5 days, like, whatever. And it ended up changing my whole life.
What were the main things that you didn't see it coming? You didn't expect that it would.
I just
be
had no idea about it, like, at all. I didn't know what life coaching was. I didn't know what to expect. A lot of it was acknowledging, like, and healing past trauma. Like, that was kind of like the starting point. And then going through things and letting yourself, if there was no barriers in your way, like nothing, money can't stop you, time can't stop you, what do you want to do? So it really, I mean, it all, at the time, it all seemed like fairy tales. Like, and I was like, I could really see, like, us having a little cafe back home, like, it'll be so cute, like, you know. And then Henri that's when he said, oh, do you want to what about Dino's? Because he used to work at Dino's. He loves food. I was always hospo before I did beauty. And then I was like, what about Dino's? And then it actually all just started happening.
So do you feel like it was pretty much telling yourself a new story? Like you had this ability to kind of reinvent yourself?
At the time, actually, this is a big part of it, was getting rid of a victim mentality. Because my upbringing wasn't the most, like, to be fair, like, it wasn't the easiest. But getting over that and being like, okay, that's, you know, it's not fair that these things happen, but it's your responsibility to come out the other end.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that was a big thing. And then, I don't know if audacity is the right word, but having, like, the audacity to ask and go after things. Because usually I wouldn't, hey, do you know, make the phone call or ask for something that you need that hand, or like, I never thought that was for me. Like, I could have never imagined that me and Henri were opening, like, Dino's 3 years ago. So that was a massive shift for me. And as well as that, just keep going. Like, when it starts happening,
Just keep
just
swimming,
keep going.
Just keep swimming,
You're good
just keep
enough.
swimming,
Yeah, you're good
swimming.
enough. Just keep going. Yeah.
Does that relate? Correct me if I'm wrong. It's just a term that I learned in New Zealand. The tall poppy syndrome. Like, do you think even
you can't-
not from
you can't
others, but
enjoy
like even
something.
ourselves, even like
Yeah.
we have within this thing of like, oh, but is this for me? You know, like, oh, I'm just Leo. You know, like, can I
Yeah.
be that good? Is it something that would that
Well,
make sense? Yeah.
Definitely.
You've got to take a chance.
Yeah. And why not? Like, this is your life. Like,
Oh, exactly.
it's your life. Like, it's gonna fail, and then what?
But the overreaching emotion that stops humans doing absolutely everything is shame.
Yes. Yep.
Shame
That's
is the
massive,
most powerful emotion
Yeah.
that we have, that we suffer from. And shame stops us from wanting to try stuff.
Yeah.
Because what if it doesn't happen?
Yeah.
Well, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. If you
Yeah.
don't ask, what? They say no.
Yeah.
Big deal. Move
Yeah.
on. But it's the mentality of, like you say, of giving less fucks
Yeah.
in the world and having the audacity to maybe back yourself
Yeah.
without people going, well, that chick's big on herself. Nah.
Yeah.
You know, and in New Zealand, that is such a culture, the tall poppy syndrome. In Australia, not so much. You get,
Yeah.
you know, you won't.
That's
It's
interesting,
very
yeah.
rare to find a New Zealander that goes, you know what? I'm brilliant at that.
Yeah.
It's a really rare thing for Kiwis to say. Now, back in previous lifetimes of things that I've done, that I've represented New Zealand for, that I've represented New Zealand overseas on the international stage for, damn straight, I can stand up in a court of law and say, I rule at that shit.
Yeah.
But that's really jarring, A, because I'm a woman, and B, because Kiwis don't talk like that.
Yeah.
If I was Australian, however, that'd be like, good on you, mate.
Yeah.
But we're not like that here.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be much more modest and done in the background, and you're not allowed to be big on yourself. You're just not. Because someone will always, you know what? Double bird them, carry on, roll.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, when you're staring at yourself for the last time, you're not going to give a shit what they thought.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, you're just not.
Yeah,
So go and do
exactly.
it.
And if
Do
you
it.
put it in perspective as well, like even coming on here, I was a little bit nervous, but when you put it in perspective, why did I make these decisions for my life? My family, my children, myself. Oh, fuck everyone else.
Absolutely.
You know, like that's what's important to me. Yeah.
Yeah, no, for what you and Henri have done in such a short space of time, and it feels like you guys have been at Dino's forever.
Yeah.
Like it feels like far longer than the time
Yeah.
that it is. But again, you know, the COVID landscape has almost warped our perspective of time
Yeah.
somewhat.
Yeah.
Doing that on itself is a big thing. Doing what you're doing is a big thing. Combining the two is a big thing. And then adding in little people into that mix, you're nuts, what? Like, it's a lot. It's
Yeah.
a lot on your plate.
Yeah. I think I am a bit nuts, but I always have been. So
Good.
that's
good.
The best
Yeah,
people are.
man, absolutely.
Well, we're talking about feeling good about yourself, being able to put yourself out there and do things. So I want to take this talk back a little bit to feeling good about yourself because that relates to our image, right? So for you, for both of you, where is the line of like, I'm looking after myself, this is good for myself? So yeah, it's beauty and it's me, and you know, when does that start to become a problem? Like we see a lot of problems nowadays with filters, with social media, with people wanting to be someone who they are not. So like, how do we have to make sure that our good thing about looking after ourselves doesn't extrapolate and becomes a problem?
Balance.
Interesting. Yeah.
Just try
Balance?
Yeah.
I think. And it's a lot easier to say that at the age that I am. If we were having this conversation with 23-year-old me, the answers would be a hell of a lot different. And I have awareness of that. But self-confidence is such a big thing. Like some of the new filters that they have on TikTok, they're amazing and look amazing. And if I could walk around looking at myself on the phone and then going into the dairy and going to buy milk, but not addressing them, having them just like address the screen because just, you know, that's how but you can't.
Yeah.
You know, and life's not about filters. Life is not about TikTok. It's about
Yeah.
real people and real connections.
Yeah.
But it's making sure that that balance
Yeah.
is, and it's like, it's balance with everything.
Yeah.
You know, if you eat enough good food and drink a bit of water and get some sleep and you're not too hard on yourself in between, you know, hopefully things will go okay.
Yeah.
But again, it's balance because it's a deep hole if you put,
Yeah.
you know, mirrors should be banned.
Yeah. Yeah. I felt like I actually don't like. I still don't really watch videos of me talking. I hate watching videos of myself talking. Pictures are alright. Sometimes other people take pictures, but in real life, I feel like confident. Like I feel. It's just if I see myself, then I'm like, I don't really. That makes me uncomfortable seeing it. I wouldn't say like I'm not confident in my own skin, but isn't it weird that you know, you
But
feel
what
like
you
that.
do, you're in a betterment industry. You know, you can be as confident as you like, but there's a big difference between making someone else feel confident in a really intimate setting, and what you like, everything that you do is incredibly intimate with someone, and gaining the trust with a complete stranger, be male or female. Say, oi, whip all your dacks off, I'm going to rub my hands all over you, complete stranger. Like, it's an intimate and quite nerve-wracking thing.
Yeah, and
I could, like, I can get up in front and sing of 1,000 people, doesn't bother me in the slightest.
Yeah.
There's no way I
See,
would
I'm
want
the
to.
opposite.
Oh,
Yeah.
me no touching no stranger.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
See, I'm the opposite. You put me up in front of that many people, I'll probably freeze.
Yeah, but that's but that's the things about strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Like, if someone came in and I was like rubbing them, I'm like, oh my God, you've got a giant blackhead on your back. I could not look past that. And I would ruin it. Like, it would be terrible.
Yeah. Actually, when I'm in a treatment, while I'm massaging, this isn't something I learnt, but this is something I do. Like, I tell my clients, okay, take 3 deep breaths. I'm actually taking 3 deep breaths too. And I find that massage is kind of like a dance for me. So I'm kind of like, I'm not analysing skin in such a way. I'm feeling for muscle tension, but also without sounding like airy-fairy stuff, I can feel like when there's a disconnect, or if someone feels like they're uncomfortable, and then I'm going to try and like make the movements,
those little micro movements, those little tensions.
You can just feel it. So I'm really trying to make sure, like, I've never said this out loud, but like that our energies are matching, kind of.
There you go. She said it. She gave it to us. She
Extracting.
gave us the juice.
Yeah.
But it is. That's what I mean about how intimate it is.
Yeah, and like you said, people have different gifts. So I think if you're a massage therapist, like, I think there's different kind of people. I don't know what they're all called, but I think there's healers. And I think a massage therapist fits into that category of a healer. A nurse, doctors, they're working with people.
Well,
quite close with them.
Some people can put their hands on you and it's like they've got eyes in their hands, and they're like, oh, okay, you feel like it's coming from here, but what I know is it's actually coming from here that's causing this pain over here, but this isn't actually where the problem is. And when I first learnt that was quite a trip.
Yeah.
Because I'm really sore in my hip area, but this isn't actually where the thing is that's causing it. It could be something in a completely different spot.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Affecting it.
And when you are ready to receive that, it's much more likely that it's going to help you as well, right?
Yeah,
that's another important thing. So if you're dealing with someone who is skeptical about what you're doing, there's already a barrier. But if you come to a treatment hoping and knowing that you're in good hands, you know, like you're trusting that person, you're not coming like all skeptical and everything. Like, that's why energy is such a, it sounds like, ooh, hippie, but like, it's because we can't see it.
You
but
can
like,
feel it. You can,
exactly. But you got to pass that and accept that if you don't want it to believe, then it's just not going to work for you. It doesn't mean that it doesn't exist.
It doesn't mean you still don't have to enjoy what's going on.
Or you don't even, like, my client, you don't have to know about it. Like, for me to, that's just me doing my job. Like,
and doing your job better as well because of it, I would think.
Yeah, I guess. But like, for like our blokes, I want to get them, and I don't really, you know, I gauge how much I can tell people or how I can be around them. But I'm, like Leo said at the start, I'm a internationally qualified beauty therapist. We're, you know, working on the muscles, working on the actual physical massage. The rest of it is just something I've acquired later. Like,
do you have a particular part of what you do that you find the most joyful for you? Like,
facial massage.
Facial massage?
Facial massage for sure. I love facial massage. Yeah.
Scalp massage.
Scalp massage. Yeah. I feel like there's always, like, just underneath the cheekbone. Like, even on myself, like, if I'm stressed, I'll press right in between the eyebrows. If you press there and just go along your eyebrow ridge, like,
I was taught to do that. I have quite bad sinus issues. I was taught to do that for sinus. It's quite painful.
And honestly, do that and take a few deep breaths, and you just feel like, Yeah. But yeah, facial and in here underneath the jaw, like I'll often like stop and just press those spots. You can feel heaps of tension in your face that you wouldn't think of. Hands and feet.
Oh,
Yeah.
the first time like going to Bali or somewhere like that and getting one of those like where they have two operators.
Yeah.
And you
How
don't
cool
how
is that?
how do you carry such pain in your
Right.
shins and in
Yeah.
your arms and
Right here,
they
like
start squeezing your fingers and it's like,
Yeah.
oh my God, do that to me forever.
yeah. Yeah.
It's just incredible.
Or just have someone just press really hard on your heel. You know, like just there's just those places that you hold tension,
Yeah.
and then some spots that some people just you don't even think about it, but I'll often just your
Like in
arm will be
down
there and
here,
you're just like
yeah.
pressing it. Yeah.
So why do we carry it here? Like why is like this area here?
The shoulders?
The shoulders, at the back of the shoulders, neck. Is it the hunching? Is it the desk? Is it the lifestyle? But
all of the above.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of the above. Exercise. Like for women, a lot of the time it could be holding children. Handbags. Why are we always carrying massive handbags on one side? Yeah, working out. There's always, I don't know if I've had one person come in that doesn't have tension there. Yeah.
When you say beauty therapist, it takes me to the beauty industry.
Yeah.
That's in I can see it from two different perspectives. That probably it's one of the most important in the world because it's supporting people to be the best version of themselves. It's to make them feel good because when you look at yourself in the mirror and you like what you see, it's very likely that all the rest will unfold. At the same time, we know that it's not everyone in an industry that wants the best out of
Yeah.
people. They just want to mount on them and get on the wagon of selling a product.
Yeah.
How is that part of the job for you, like to analyze and see what you're bringing in and what message are you passing to the people who are coming to try to be better and to feel better?
Yeah. I mean, I can't speak for every beauty therapist, but I just want people to feel good about themselves. I have no problem with like nails. Like I love my eyelashes. I love getting my brows done. I'm actually qualified to do like nails and brows and all that, but I choose to be more specialised in something and leave that to the ladies that love it. Yeah.
And I'm not saying that it's bad because like I love reading about ancient civilizations and like it's just the most normal thing to put paint on your body to look beautiful and like to put things. And so I
People
didn't mean
been vain forever. People been vain forever.
and look at what animals do, like to find all this. Like they make
Exactly.
sure to show all the
You
colors.
see
And,
the fish at the bottom of the ocean that make those things in the sand that look, it's just incredible. Why do they do
Yeah.
that? To make themselves look more attractive.
Yeah.
so I just why are we this is a good topic, Taylor. If you don't mind finding a recent image of Madonna, I think was at the Grammy. So if you don't mind, please, if you don't mind finding, because this is something that now that we're talking about this, I don't know if you have seen her. lately.
I think I might.
For me, honestly, like my sister came here a month ago and she's a big Madonna fan. And I love Madonna. I went to see Madonna live with her in Brazil because
that would be amazing.
it was amazing. There was this pink car coming on stage and it was so much fun. And I love Madonna. Like I couldn't think of a bigger icon,
Yeah.
For empowerment. I'm all about empowering youth and women and make better men as well. Like sometimes it's not that it's not important. Like it's a very important thing, make men feel good about themselves and look after their partners and their children. But anyway, and then Madonna shows up, I think was on the Grammy or something, with a very different face from what I was expecting, because I just hadn't seen her for a long time. I don't know if that Botox, maybe you two will probably be able to tell me if it is.
It's filler.
And then I saw mixed opinions on that. I saw people saying, "Oh, there you go." So that one.
See, the thing is, in the big picture, if she's happy, fuck it.
Yeah, I mean,
know,
I'm a big
like-
advocate of each to their own, and that's like, I mean, maybe
I don't-
she might look and she's gone, I've gone too far, but that's her journey. You know?
That's the thing. Like that is that aesthetic for me. No.
Yeah. No, not for me, but that's her journey.
But Madge isn't like the rest of us, is she? You know,
Her life's been pretty wild.
she's you know.
Yeah.
Because that's how I felt. I was like,
Yeah.
I feel like if you want to do something,
But she's
you should go for it.
and if you've always been
Yeah.
someone who's lived to excess, and Madonna has been all about excess all her whole life, and whatever realm of excess that she's working to.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then there's the thing, like, that's an interesting question, though, because this is something that I think about. So for me, I'm like, yeah, do your thing, each to their own. But if that was my daughter, I would probably be a little bit sad for her.
Oh,
You know, like, so there is that, like, each to their own, like, that's your journey. But in a judgmental way, I don't want to really judge that. But if it was my daughter, I would be a little bit, like,
look, if
Heartbroken
that
for
was
her.
my mum or my nana rocking it down the street, because if you think that looks weird on that, imagine seeing that standing in line next to you at New World. Like, you think that shit looks freaky at the Grammys?
yeah.
Everybody looks like that at the Grammys.
Yeah, yeah,
Imagine seeing that standing next to you at aisle 7 at New World.
yeah.
You'd be like, that's where the UFOs are. Crikey, they're here.
They're here. Oh, well, who cares? Get back to work. No.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, got to pay rent.
Yeah, oh,
So,
well.
yeah, and that's why I asked, because I feel like when you have a professional bringing
Yeah.
those topics to the table, it makes more sense. So, for example, we had Emma. What was her last name? Chloe with the tattoos, Emma Anaru, saying that she had implants.
Yeah.
Breast implants, and then she suffered a lot. She had to remove them, and then she found out that there was this group of women who suffers from those
with the
implants.
leaking and all of the
Yeah.
issues.
Yeah. So like it was a beautiful
read
show.
about
Like
that,
we had
yeah.
so much like good feedback
I have,
on that,
yeah,
because
I
she
talked to
opened
Emma
up.
about it before,
know.
and I was kind of like, damn, I really wanted implants one day. Now I know better. You know,
Yeah.
like, it's like, damn. But-
So that really made me think, because she explained in this very nice way of like, that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
That made me feel good.